Alright guys, SpiderVideo89 here, back with another video, and today I wanted to discuss microtransactions and loot boxes, and the thought that maybe we've won the war on these. A lot of games obviously still have these in, however they are changing. So I'm sure you're all aware microtransactions and loot boxes in game are things that you can purchase with real world money in game. Loot boxes, for instance, as far as I'm concerned, is a form of gambling. You open up a loot box, you may get a good item in there, you may get the item you were after, you may get a completely random item that you weren't after or that is no good to you. Microtransactions are usually used to purchase these. They are different types of microtransactions that don't involve loot boxes, where you can buy in-game currency. Obviously there's some extremely popular games out there that use this and utilize this, some of them in the right way, some of them in the wrong way. So let's move further into this to discuss it in a bit more detail. So microtransactions as a whole probably hit the height of that controversy late last year when Star Wars Battlefront 2 launched. So the plan for that game was it was going to launch with microtransactions and loot boxes in. You would then purchase characters to use in game in the online mode, or you could purchase loot boxes in order to get different gear and different weapons and the like in order to use in the online mode as well. So essentially it was becoming pay to win. Now there was a great deal of backlash when this happened, when it came out that this is what was planned for the game, and EA turned off the microtransactions in game. After a long period of people having a go and people saying it wasn't right, EA announced that they were going to be bringing microtransactions back. I read this and thought, okay, so they've hoped that the controversies died down a bit and they can just pop these back in the game and people won't necessarily complain. People will just go out and purchase them. However, what they actually did was to change the microtransactions. It went from being weapons and the like that would help you in game to cosmetic things like emotes and gear that you would wear and stuff to change the way your character looked, which is obviously fantastic. That's exactly what microtransactions should be. If you want to purchase something in order to make a character dance a funny way or wear a different top or a different coat or whatever, then that's fine. But what I don't agree with is microtransactions that improve your performance in game, is that is pay to win, and that's not how it should be. You should win through skill, not through paying for it. So that's one win. However, on the screen you're seeing some gameplay from Need for Speed Payback. Now I bought this game on release. I played Need for Speed 2015, you actually have the Platinum Trophy on that one, and I've always liked Need for Speed games. I bought this one on release day and started playing it, and it had getting a lot of hate when it first came out, people saying the story was weak and the like, but it's a racing game so that didn't really bother us. So I started playing through the game and got quite a few hours into it, and I found that I wasn't able to progress on any further. What was causing it? Was it a lack of skill? Was it a lack of not knowing what to do? No, it wasn't. It was a case of you had to purchase loot boxes in order to upgrade your car enough to win the next race. And I've tried it all different ways, and I looked online and found people discussing this, that you had to purchase loot boxes in order to do it. So I immediately sold the game. I wasn't prepared to purchase loot boxes. I said I wasn't buying any other EA games, and I wasn't going to be putting any more money into their coffers. However, about a week ago I was searching through online, going through Twitter, and I seen that this had been patched again, and I was reading through the patch notes that addressed the issue and fixed it. They're giving you the ability to trade your speed cards in, all speed cards, which you could trade in towards other ones, hence upgrade your car to win the next race if that's what you needed to do. So I decided I was going to purchase this game back and give it another go, and I'm pleased I've done that because they have fixed it. So this is yet another EA game with microtransactions which ruined the game, which have now been resolved. So Battlefront 2 was sorted and Need for Speed Payback was sorted. But maybe with these ones it was a little bit too late. I think the damage had already been done and people had already decided that these games weren't for them. But if you do take one thing away from this video, Need for Speed Payback is definitely worth playing. It's not a massive story driven game or anything like that, just play it for the race, and that's what you should be here for, the racing element. Battlefront 2, the online mode, is now quite balanced. It isn't pay to win or anything like that anymore. Obviously the story and that's a bit lackluster as well, it's only 4 hours long. But when it comes to EA microtransactions, they've definitely taken note of the customer's voice and decided to change it for the better. Now another game that I play quite a bit, as I'm sure you are aware, is GTA Online, and this does have microtransactions in game. You can purchase in-game currency. Now this isn't loot boxes or anything like that, it's a case of you know exactly how much you're purchasing, you press the button and purchase that, you know how much it's going to cost you in real world money and how much you're going to get in game. Now I don't necessarily agree or disagree with shark cards. I know they're a thing in game and that's something that Rockstar used to fund the game, and GTA Online is a massive service model. That's what it is, a service model. It constantly receives updates and new content, and that's how they pay for that. Obviously GTA Online has become the most lucrative form of entertainment there's ever been, better than any book or movie or any other game. It is a massive thing, and that's down to shark cards. Now you could use that shark card money to go out and purchase yourself an apartment or a facility or a bunker or whatever and make money in game, or you could use it to go out and purchase a really fast car and use that to win races, and that is kind of pay to win. So I do see why people disagree with that. Me myself, I don't have a massive problem with it if that's what people choose to do, because in regards to GTA Online you can make a lot of money in game in order to spend in game currency to purchase these things yourself. So there is that in there. I think as long as it's balanced it's okay, and in regards to GTA Online it is quite balanced. If you've got people that you play with, you can make the same sort of money as purchasing a shark card, and I would imagine there's a lot of solo players in GTA Online who purchase shark cards in order to fund their game and experience on there. Now my personal opinion is that we are winning on microtransactions. A massive game that I want to play. I did get it when it first came out and give it a bit of a go and wasn't really a massive fan, but I do want to give it a go. That is Lord of the Rings, The Shadow of War. So that one is a massive microtransaction loot box mess. It's got loads of loot boxes in that you need to purchase in order to get the true ending of the game. However, they've announced that they're stripping these out of the game in a couple of months time, so that's when I'll be playing it. I'll be giving it a real good go then. And I think they're doing that because they've heard the voice of the customer. They've heard what was said in regards to Star Wars Battlefront 2, what was said in relation to their own game. So I think they've definitely learnt the lesson when it comes to loot boxes, and they're stripping those out. It doesn't add to the game, it adds to their coffers, yeah, but less people buy the game because of that. Now something I heard a while back was maybe it's time we had a price increase for games. Now hear us out. If it was a case of that, it says to you, look, we're putting the price of your game up by £5 or $10 or $5 or £10, and it was a set thing that everyone did that, but we're doing away with microtransactions, except in online service models, things like Rainbow Six Siege, GTA Online, like League of Legends for instance. I don't play League of Legends, but I take that has microtransactions in there as well. Fortnite, I know that does as well for battle passes and things. But in regards to normal games that come out and they're just games, maybe that's how they do it. Maybe they pot the price up a little bit, and that way they don't have to do the microtransactions anymore. Or the season passes, maybe they add a couple of quid on the price of a season pass, and that way they do away with microtransactions. Is that something you think that could happen? I mean, let us know in the comments if that's something you'd agree with or something you'd disagree with. But maybe it is time we had a slight price rise in the price of games in order to stop this happening. But I don't think we need that. I think that we've already won the war on microtransactions. But I want to know what you think, so as I say, please let us know in the comments below if you think we've won the war on microtransactions. Microtransactions don't add to your game 9 times out of 10, they take away from it, and I think that the people's voice has finally been heard and we've won the war on microtransactions. Thanks very much for watching guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.